Hello, this is a little review exercise on metric conversions. So the first thing you have to know if you're dealing with metric conversions is you need to know the basic order of the prefixes. And so they go kilo, hecto, deca, and then this basic unit or this base unit is without a prefix, and then deci, centi, milli. And to try and help you remember that, there's a little mnemonic device. It's an acrostic which goes like this. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. All right, and that helps you to remember the order here. The confusing thing, though, is that there are two D's in there. So you have to remember that deca, all right, is DA when you abbreviate it, and deci is just lowercase d. All right, so make sure when you're memorizing that King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk that you know that deca is DA and deci is just D. All right. So going through and doing these conversions, I have a method that I use where I just write out in order the prefixes, like you can see to the right. And then I look here and I see, for instance, in this first problem that we have 1,000 milligrams and we're trying to go to grams. And so what I do is I come over to my little flow chart here on the side and I say, all right, if we're going from milligrams to grams, which is the basic unit with no prefix, we're going to jump over 1, 2, 3 spaces. All right? And then what I do is I think about my decimal point, which in 1,000, there's not a decimal point written, but anytime you have a number with no decimal point, it goes right at the end there. All right? And so going from milli to base unit, we moved over 3 spots to the left here. So I'll move over 3 spots to the left with my decimal point. 1, 2, 3. And it ends up right next to the 1. Okay, so this would be something like 1.000, which we recognize as just 1. All right, so that's how you would write that there. Okay, moving on to the second example here. We're going from liters in this example to milliliters. Now going from liters to milliliters, we're going from our base unit and jumping over 3 spots, this time to the right. So we start off with 1 here. And the decimal point, again, if it's not there, it's just right after the last number there. And we're going to move it over 3 spots to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, I learned this thing from Mrs. McGrain about how we do this metric moving. And whenever there's a little empty space here when we do one of those little jumps over, she calls that an egg basket. And she says you have to fill in the egg basket with little eggs. And I love that as a little way of remembering that. So then our decimal point ends up here. So you have something like 1,000, all right, point, okay, which is just 1,000. Moving on to problem number 3, 160 centimeters to millimeters. All right, so this one is going from centi to milli, which is actually just a jump over 1 spot here to the right. So we take 160. We find the decimal point, it's right here. We jump it over 1 spot to the right. That gives us one little egg basket. We fill that in, all right, and we get 1,600. For problem number 4 here, we're going from kilometers to meters. All right, so that is from K to the base unit meters. So this is 1, 2, 3 spots over here to the right. So 14. And then we're going to jump over 1, 2, 3 spots to the right, fill in those 3 little baskets that we got there, and we get 14,000. Next one here, we're starting with 109 grams. We're going to kilograms. Okay, grams is the base unit. And then we're jumping over 3 spots, this time to the left. All right, so we start with 109. The decimal point is here. Jumping over 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. We get 0.109. for our kilograms. For the next one here, we're going from 250 meters to kilometers. So starting with meters, we jump over 1, 2, 3 spots to kilometers. All right, 250, decimal point is right here. We jump over 3 spots, 1, 2, 3, and we end up with 0.250 kilometers. For these problems here at the bottom, we're given two numbers and we have to compare them using less than, greater than, or equal to. So in order to compare them, we need to get them in the same units. So we could either convert 56 centimeters to meters, or we can convert 6 meters to centimeters. It doesn't matter either way. I'm going to start with 56 centimeters, and I'm going to try and get it into meters. So if we're starting with centimeters, and we're going to meters, we jump over 2 spots here to our base unit. All right, so that's going to the left. Put the decimal place there, 2 spots over to the left, and I end up saying that this is equal to 0.56 meters. Now if we compare 0.56 meters to 6 meters, the 6 meters is going to be larger. For this last problem on this page, we're comparing 7 grams and 698 milligrams. So for this one, I'll take 698 milligrams and convert it to grams. So we start here with milli. We jump over 3 spots to the left, getting it to its base unit. All right, so 698, again, we're going to take the decimal place and jump it over 3 spots to the left, and we get 0.698. All right, 0.698 grams compared to 7 grams, 7 grams is going to be larger. Starting here at the top of page 2, we're just asked to write down what the abbreviation is for each of these units. So this is using the prefixes and base units to try and get a handle on the common ways that these are written down. So kilograms, kilo is a lowercase k, so kilograms is kg, meter, lowercase m, gram is just a lowercase g, milliliter, that's milli, which is a lowercase m, and then liter, which is a capital L, millimeter, milli, lowercase m, meter, lowercase m, liter, uppercase L, kilometer or kilometer, that's a lowercase k, and then a lowercase m, centimeter, lowercase c, lowercase m, milligram, lowercase m, lowercase g. So it's just good to commonly know what those are. We didn't include deci or deca here because they're not as common in terms of the prefixes, but make sure that you know what those are too. For instance, if you came across DAG, that would be a decagram, all right? So make sure that you're familiar with those prefixes as well. All right, I'm going to quickly go through a bunch of these. So using these conversions, the first one here is going from 2,000 milligrams to grams. So in this case, we're going to move the decimal place over from milli to the base unit. That's 3 spots over to the left. So if you imagine the decimal place here and you move it over 3 spots to the left, you should get 2 grams. For question number 6, I'm going to go a little bit out of order here just to make it work better with the smartboard presentation. But number 6, going from liters to milliliters. Liters is the base unit. All right, we're going to milliliters. That's 1, 2, 3 spots over here to the right. So you have 5, decimal point there, moving over 3 spots to the right. Fill in those egg baskets. We get 5,000. For 11, 16 centimeters to millimeters. Centimeters to millimeters is just jumping over 1 spot, and we're jumping 1 spot over to the right. So 16, decimal point goes here, jumping over 1 spot to the right, fill in the egg basket, we get 160. Jumping down here to problem number 2, we're going from kilometers to meters. So that's going from kilo to the base unit. That's jumping over 1, 2, 3 spots. All right, so 104, going over 3 spots to the right. The decimal is here. We create 1, 2, 3 egg baskets here that we need to fill in. All right, and you end up with 104,000 meters. For problem 7, 198 grams to kilograms. That's going from the base unit up to kilo, grams up to kilograms. So we're going to move 3 spots over here this time to the left. 198. Decimal point goes there, jumping 3 spots to the left. 1, 2, 3. We end up with 0.198 or 0.198. For number 12, we're going from 2,500 meters to kilometers. Again, that's going from the base unit, jumping over 3 spots to kilo. All right, so that means our decimal place is jumping over 3 spots. Starts off here at the end, jumping over 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. It ends up on the inside of the 2, so that's 2.5 kilometers. Problem number 3 down here. This is going from centimeters to meters. So centi starts here. We're just bumping 2 spots over, going to the left. All right, same thing here then. We'll put the decimal place there, jump over 2 spots. We get 4.8. Next one, going from milliliters to liters. So milli is here. We're going to jump over 3 spots, the base unit. All right, so 75 with a decimal point here. We're jumping over 1, 2, 3 spots. We've got another egg basket that we need to fill here, so a 0 goes there. It's 0.075. For 13, 65 grams to milligrams. Going from grams to milligrams, we're jumping over 3 spots. This time to the right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so 65. Decimal point there, jumping over 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. We get 3 egg baskets there that need filled in, and the answer is 65,000. Jumping here to the ones on the bottom of the page, 5.6 kilograms to grams, kilo to the base unit, that's 1, 2, 3 spots over here to the right. So we go 5.6, jump over 3 spots to the right, that's 1, 2, 3. There are 2 spots here to fill in with zeros, that's 5,600. Problem number 9, 50 centimeters to meters. All right, we're jumping from centi, 2 spots over here, to meters, the base unit. So 50, we'll put the decimal point down, jump it over 2 spots as well. You get 0.5. For problem 14, we're going from centimeters to millimeters. Centi to milli, that's jumping 1 spot over here to the right. So 6.3, jumping 1 spot over to the right, we can just do it here, gives you 63. All right, problem number 5, 8 millimeters to centimeters. This is going the other way from milli to centi. That's jumping 1 spot over. This time it's going to the left, so from 8 to 0.8. .6 meters to centimeters. All right, so here we're going from our base unit over 2 the meters to centimeters, that's going to the right. So 5.6, going 2 to the right, 1, 2, that gives you 560. If you fill in an egg basket there. 120 milligrams, going to grams. So we're going from milli to the base unit here. We jump 1, 2, 3 spots over here to the right. So 120 decimals here. We're going to jump over 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. You get 0.120. And then for the last problems here on the page, we're going to be doing some more comparing, so we have to get them in the same units. 63 centimeters, converting it to meters. We jump over 2 spots, going from centimeters to meters, all right, which gives us 0.63 meters. 6 is greater than 0.63. Next one, going from 508 milligrams to grams. We're going to jump over 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. 508, jumping over 3 spots, we get 0.508. Comparing those, 7 or 5 is greater than 0.508. For 18, 1,500 milliliters compared to 1.5 liters, going from milli to the base unit, we're going to be jumping over 3 spots here, 1, 2, 3, again to the left. So 1,500, decimal point is there, 1, 2, 3 to the left. We end up with 1.5 liters. And then you can see that those two are equal. 536 centimeters to meters, or sorry, to decimeters in this case. We're just jumping over 1 spot, centimeters to decimeters. So this is 53.6 decimeters, and you can see that those are equivalent as well. All right, on 20 here, 43 milligrams compared to 5 grams. Going from milli to the base unit, we're going to jump over 1, 2, 3. All right, so 43 jumping over 3 spots. That's 1, 2, 3. 0.043 is what we end up with. All right, 5 grams definitely larger in that case. Last one here, comparing 3.6 meters to 36 centimeters. We'll go from the 36 centimeters to meters. So centi to regular meters, just 2 spots over there to the left. So 36. We're going to bump over here 1, 2, that's 0.36. All right, and 3.6 is going to be larger in that case. So that's my brief rundown on metric problems and metric conversions. If you have any questions, make sure you schedule a time with me. Otherwise, hopefully you'll be in good shape on this from now on.